main reason behind launch of ViveKam Financial Services is to help a small and a retail and often neglected investor of Andhra Pradesh and also in the rest of the country. Many times what happens is a small investor is often refused to be entertained even by a smallest of the brokers or even sub-brokers. Imagine yourself, if you want to invest about 1,000 rupees per month to build a large corpus after some time in equities, nobody will give you any amount of credibility. Nobody would even listen to you if you go to them. Leave alone all this. If you are a small investor of, let us say you are holding about a portfolio of 25,000 rupees worth, which will be split into 5-10 shares. If you want to get a view on all the shares, you will have to do your own research, and very few times you will be successful in getting to the bottom of the company that you are holding. And another reason is, whenever you want to know if the companies that you are holding are likely to go up or not, nobody will be able to tell you, because very few people conduct research. And even among the people who conduct research, very few of them conduct research on all the companies. They all are company focused. They will tell you about Hindustan Lever. You may not even hold Hindustan Lever, but they tell you what they know. They don't try to tell you what you want to know. To avoid this kind of situation, to equip and also empower even a smallest possible retail investor to understand what is good, what is not good about any company that he may or may not be holding, ViveKam started this service. With ViveKam, we cover almost all the companies in the universe. Approximately 5,500 companies are covered by us, and none of the decisions are personalized. Everything is only based on the fundamental factors, and we try to provide you a most objective assessment of any companies. There is no subjective element involved at all. And we also disagree. When the company managements themselves cannot pursue or cannot foresee the future of their companies, how can an analyst be able to predict the future of a particular company? It is tough. I don't say it is impossible, but it is tough. So what we instead try to do was, we try to establish the relationship between the reported numbers and the ensuing prices in the next 3 months. And we have got irrefutable evidence to prove 82% times the company prices follow the predictable pattern as determined by the reported numbers. So going from there, we went ahead and then started identifying the companies that are growing in operations. If a company is growing in operations, and if its company's price can be projected, the only other element that is left out for a common investor to understand is compare the fair value that you yourself worked out based on the reported numbers and see whether the current market price offers any scope to grow. In principle, ViveKam does exactly the same steps. It identifies the company that are growing, it assigns a value based on its past pattern, and then it checks whether the current market price is underpriced so that investors are suggested the most undervalued growth stocks. So what happens is, you will not be ever buying a company if it is not doing well. That is to identify the companies. Suppose you have a stock portfolio of stocks. You only need to upload your portfolio once into the ViveKam platform. Once you upload all the portfolio into the ViveKam platform, in less than a minute's time, it will come out with a list of its recommendations, whether your companies are growing, or if your company is doing well, or if your company has got any further scope to grow. If they are already expensive, according to the time-tested principles, ViveKam will mark expensive against it. That means you don't need to talk to a single living person to understand and then decide whether a particular company deserves to be held on by you in your portfolio or it needs to be sold out. So without seeking any suggestion from anyone, you overnight become all-powerful, and you will be able to advise even your neighbors on what should be held on to, what should not be held on.